Today is the culmination of about 6 months' work from our team at Beacon to promote the awareness of gambling-related harm within these local systems.
Absolutely fantastic today. Just a really fabulous event, extremely well put on. But I think the combination of things in terms of what we've learned today as well, I think has been top notch.
I think today's event was incredibly important. The only way we can really get to grips and understand the wide range in which gambling and gambling harms and addictive behaviours can truly impact the family as a whole is by meeting other organisations, having that lived experience and widening our knowledge base.
The personal stories, the lived experience, I just find that incredibly powerful. You know, so grateful to those people for being brave and getting up there and telling their story, because that connects that personal story to everything that we're looking at in terms of statistics and the work that's going on. So absolutely brilliant stuff.
Today's event is probably one of the best events I've been to, not just because of the numbers of people that were here. I attend a lot of events and I normally see the same faces. I probably didn't know half the people in the room, which I always think is good, so the message is getting out wider. It was also nice to see police officers here, because being an ex-police officer myself, no one ever talked about gambling harm and nobody recognised that our gambling harm was in the force. So if this is about learning, then it was a step forward in my opinion.
The issue of gambling-related harm is ratcheting up the public health agenda. There was a recent report by the Officers of Health Improvement and Disparities to indicate as to why organisations should take more notice of this. But when we start to talk about the numbers that are affected by it, this is a health issue that needs to have the same parity of engagement and awareness as there is with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, gambling's always been the hidden addiction. People say you can't see it. The NHS, everybody needs to ask a question about gambling-related harm. We really need to up the game, and it needs to stop being the hidden addiction.
The problem that you have is that you would clearly to see if I'd had 10 points, you'd be seeing me swaying all over the road. You wouldn't know if I've had a gamble this morning if I haven't. So when they describe it as the hidden addiction, I understand that. But I think there's a lot of missed signs, and I think when David spoke earlier on the call, there's missed opportunities, and I think that people just don't understand what to ask the question around, or have people ever thought, is he really suffering gambling harm? Or, and I know this is probably the one that probably frustrates most people in recovery, why can't you just stop? It's not that simple.
I think I learned something from everything that we engage with, and one of the things I'm privileged to be involved with is so many people from a lived experience perspective. And today I learned an awful lot from our lived experience group, in particular the impact on the family unit, which is very much understood and very much engaged with from a systematic perspective.
My number one takeaway would be that we have to keep trying and collaborating all of the while, and if you get pushback, you just have to keep going and going and going. And this is a marathon, not a sprint.
If I take away anything from today, it's that there's a room full of people as passionate about this as I am, and that's incredibly important. And that's the first step to making that impactful change.
It's important that both the NHS and public health support the initiatives into the raising of the awareness of gambling-related harm. My very simple piece of advice was don't delay. Pick up the phone, speak to Beacon on 0151 226 0696, and you will be engaged with sensitively, appropriately, confidentially, and without delay. It's a confidential service, it's free, and there are no waiting lists.